Hi neighbors, George Rainey here, your local Northern Virginia realtor. And today on Realtors Life Market Update, we're going to be talking about forbearance and a little bit about our market. So stay tuned. Hi neighbors, if this is your first time watching, please like and comment and let us know where you're watching from. And if you or anybody you know is interested in buying or selling and want to know how to get that done in today's market, feel free to contact me. My information will be at the end. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or subscribe to my YouTube channel for the latest tips, news, and updates. Alright, so we're going to get started here. Forbearance. What is forbearance? Forbearance is when your mortgage servicer or lender allows you to temporarily pay your mortgage at a lower payment or pause paying your mortgage. You will have to pay the payment reduction or the pause payment back later. In other words, if you're unable to make your payments right now, you can contact your mortgage lender, at least during COVID, and basically have them pause it, or say you're able to make $1,800 instead of $2,000. Maybe ask them to do a forbearance and only pay the $1,800. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to pay it back. So you're either going to have to either renegotiate on the loan, or you're going to have to pay back what's past due, or something. But that's essentially what a forbearance is. On the next slide, we have the principal economist from CoreLogic, Mayer. A distributional analysis of forborne loans payment status revealed that nearly more than 1/3 of all forborne loans are 150 days behind payment, while as many as 1 in 4 are 180 past due. Now, these are national numbers. Remember that. This isn't like here in Northern Virginia specifically. This is looking at the economy, looking at everything overall. There are people who are in forbearance, and obviously they've taken it and they need it. The next slide is not going to actually show forbearance, but it's actually going to be talking about unemployment, which I think shows the position of the economy and how it relates to housing. But as you can see with these numbers, there's a decent amount of people who've taken it. Now the jobs report. Now this is based off last week's number. This isn't like this week's number or anything recently. It's been within the past week. The economy lost 140,000 jobs last month. The unemployment rate stayed at 6.7%, which actually is the same as December. But still, there's 140,000 jobs lost. As you can see with the WSJ, December's numbers were disappointing, but the losses were concentrated in the leisure and hospitality sector. That suggests two things: consumer caution and government restrictions related to COVID-19 are battering restaurants, bars, hotels, casinos, and other businesses that pack people together. Until the pandemic is under control, those industries will struggle. Obviously, if you look to the left of the screen, you'll see that in the leisure and hospitality, about 500,000 jobs were lost, versus those in retail and construction. Those actual numbers went up. But at the end of the day, we've seen this within our own neighborhoods. Places closing down, businesses like reducing staff. I mean, there's been a lot that we have seen lately, and obviously these numbers are show. So to get back to forbearance, again, national numbers, the number of mortgages in active forbearance has actually increased slightly. It hasn't increased too much, not compared to earlier in the year, but it has increased a little bit these past several weeks. But again, these are people who are just in active forbearance, and even that slight increase, I wouldn't worry about it. This next one shows the percentage of overall forbearances. So in other words, just looking at the overall. If you look between November and January, again, not much change. I would even say October, there wasn't too much of a change. But I don't know. Are you hearing about people going into forbearance or not? Is this the first time you are hearing about it? Let me know. Let us know in the comments. Here we're seeing the percentage of forbearance and how it's decreasing actually. So if you look at the overall level, you'll see that forbearance has actually kind of dropped down and it's actually leveled out. And I don't really see much of a change happening unless something like I don't know, like something big happens within the pandemic, something else pops up. At this moment, I think that's pretty much what we're going to be looking at. Again, the increase in the listed home for how many people are borrowing to sell the arguably intermediate top in the market downsize to more affordable homes rather than face foreclosure. In other words, we're probably going to start seeing a lot more people who are, you know, not going into foreclosures because they are actually using their forbearance to actually help them stop going into foreclosure. At the same time, we're also seeing people who are going into forbearance, and there are foreclosures in our area. Now, looking at this was a survey done by 100 of the top economists, as well as you know, a lot of the top economists, as well as those in the housing industry. In this survey, we see that for each of the following possible post-forbearance outcome, what percentage of these 2.7 million homeowners will you estimate will be either foreclosed or stay in forbearance? Now, looking at the, again, national numbers, 58%, 1.57 million, will probably pay back their forbearance and just kind of use it, and then they're out. The big number is looking at this 24%. You can see that 24% will probably list their homes and sell. And these are people who may not be able to pay back the forbearance, but they have equity. And having equity in their home allows them to be able to get out of this possibly, especially since they may not have to bring money to the table. If you look at this last part, 18% will probably receive a notice. And doesn't mean that they're going into foreclosure. It just means that they're going to be receiving a notice. So we'll see what happens right there. Now, looking at this, these are our local numbers. These are essentially what is going on in our market. As you can see in the coming, oops, sorry about that. Let me bring that back up. Give me 1 second. In the coming soon status, as you can see, we have 193 that just came on the market this past week. 193 that are new, 43 that are back to active, 69 that decreased in price, 64 that increased in price, 234 that are active in Northern Virginia, 369 that just went under contract, and 408 that have closed. We have 55 that are temporary off the market, 49 withdrawn. Now, withdrawn means that they've actually pulled it off the market, but they still have an agreement with their agent. Temporary off literally means just they're off for some reason. Maybe they need to fix something or not. We've had 17 that were canceled. That means they actually, you know, canceled early with their agent, and we've had 20 that are expired. So that is what we have seen within our market. So, you know, things are selling pretty quickly here. Things are selling really fast. How many people have gone into forbearance in our neighborhood? I'm not exactly sure. I know that, you know, these national numbers make it hard to kind of dig into our local numbers. But in general, from what I have seen, a lot of people who have been trying to downsize have, you know, sold their home and sold it pretty quickly. A lot of people are using their equity right now to upgrade their homes and to try to basically, you know, be able to sell it. But again, you know, we'll see what happens this year. Are we going to have more foreclosures? Are we going to have any foreclosures? Is it going to be a mass wave? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to have as big of a wave as people will see, especially with forbearance. A lot of people are using their equity to keep themselves out of trouble. You're using forbearance to keep themselves out of trouble. And some of these people have enough equity so that they can actually sell their home and go back basically, you know, without any foreclosures. But we will see foreclosures. It's just, I don't think it's going to be this big giant wave this year that some people are predicting. Let me know what you think. That's all I have for now. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thanks for watching A Realtor's Life Market Update.